and like where the heck I've been. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Alex and thank you so much for being here. Now before we get into anything today, I have to disclaim, I have been losing my voice the past couple of days. No worries, I've taken a test and I am healthy. Well, relatively. I just have like this weird like throat thing going on right now. I think it has to do with like a Canadian winter, you know, the dryness and stuff, so no big deal. But if I don't sound completely like myself, that is why. So you'll notice from the title that yes, I am back from the dead. Oh my god, you guys, I am so sorry. And you know, I have to clarify with you that like obviously this whole video is just gonna be about like what's been going on and like where the heck I've been. But honestly, like I know that subscribing to someone means that like you want their content, you're interested in what they're doing, and it means a lot to me because I am also a consumer and like I am on that side as well, where like I subscribe to people and like when they don't post content, it kind of, you want to like see what they're doing and like etc etc. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm really sorry for at least not keeping you guys like, you know, informed. I could have done that, but you'll notice that as I go through like what's been going on, I can't feel bad about what's happened because, you know, life happens and it's just like things happen sometimes and then that's the way it's meant to be. So, but we'll get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below for future videos, and do not forget to follow me on all of my socials, which will have content about what I am doing in my day-to-day life, which I know lots of you guys have been DMing me on Instagram about actually, so do not worry, there's a lot coming. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. So you'll also notice that I am completely like makeup-less. I thought that it would be kind of fun if I could do like a little chit chat and like put my makeup on with you guys, and we can just like catch up here, you know? So like if you want, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever, we're just gonna catch up. It's gonna be a little chat today. So first and foremost, I kind of just want to trace this back to when this all started, because I started my channel a little bit under a year ago, and I know that I grew pretty quickly and I'm so grateful for that. It did grow a lot faster than I had anticipated. I just didn't know what to expect. Like I was really like happily shocked at how quickly I grew. So thank you again to everyone who subscribed. But needless to say that I definitely was caught a little bit off guard. Now in Ontario, I live here in Toronto, in Ontario. We have had a very interesting time with this whole pandemic. In lockdown, out of lockdown, like it's been quite intense for a lot of people, you know, like emotionally, mentally. And I totally understand. Like I've had better days and worse days, and like I was in school, so maybe that was more of a distraction because I'm not in school now. I am going to be starting some school stuff up again, but yeah, definitely really hard on a lot of people. But needless to say that it's been a hard time, and with that, you know, you have to like learn to pick up really fast because, you know, if you're going into lockdown, you have to adjust really quickly, you have to be really flexible. It's like really similar like on the flip side. Like if they open up, you have to be like ready to like, if you're not working, to go back to work and etc, you know, see people again, socialize, which has also been a huge burden on people because, you know, we've all been a little bit less, you know, socially adept to like go and like, you know, hang out with people. It's just been quite a change for everyone, you know? So essentially back in June, after my surgery, I had a few health complications in June. I got my wisdom teeth out, and then I had a couple of follow-up infections, which was not the most fun 2021. But after that whole debauchery, I was ready to like, you know, hot girl summer it up. And at that point, Ontario had opened again. So I was going back to work. I work in the service industry. So restaurants had been closed and then they opened up again. So it was time to go back to work. Now at the time, it's kind of a long story, but I essentially had only intended on starting one new job, but I had another really good offer too. So I kind of rolled with it and I started 2 new jobs, which was not my original plan. And I've done 2 jobs. I've done 3 jobs at a time. Like it's a lot of work. But at the time, again, hadn't worked in a while, thought whatever, like it's kind of like what fell into my lap. It could be like good money, etc, etc. So I rolled with it. Now I did go into that knowing that like I would probably like super overwhelmed for a few months and wouldn't have as much time to do this kind of stuff. So I knew it, but I thought, you know, like, no, I'll work around it. And obviously I didn't work well around it. 2 jobs in the service industry, especially post lockdown when everybody's going out, was so freaking exhausting. It was just a lot. It was like, obviously when you start a new job, like you're in a new territory, new social environment, so like just everything combined was a lot to take in. And the next thing you know, like summer was over. Like I started like at the beginning of July, and the next thing you know, it was like end of September, and I was like, oh my God. So things just went by really quickly, and I let time get away from me, and I was just a little bit disappointed. There was so much summer content that I was so excited to post, to do, and then like got away from me. And yeah, now since then I actually have left one of my jobs because it was just getting a little bit too much for me. And it was nothing against the workplace. Like I totally loved everyone that I worked with. I loved both of my jobs. I learned a lot from both, and I have no regrets with what I did. But going forward, especially into the new year, I just thought it was time for a change, and it was just too hard on me, like physically and emotionally. So like I had to bow out. Now with that, I also just wanted to briefly touch on something else that's really been a big part of my life as of recently. I did get into a new relationship, which has been amazing. I am just gonna be brief about what I say here because this is not the point of the video. But I basically got into a new relationship with this guy, and it's been incredible. We started seeing each other in the summer, and things just like really took off with us. You know, I think that really in life, like when you're meant to be someone, they kind of just like come into your life. Like you can ask, you can look, you can do the most, you can be like ready to have a relationship, but unless it's the right person and like unless the universe is like on your side, like it's just not gonna happen. And fortunately it happened, and I felt so blessed. And you know, obviously like at this point he's met my family and I've met his, and especially like working up to the holidays, I didn't want to take away from investing in our relationship and the time that we had together, because obviously like it's a new relationship and you want to kind of prioritize that, and you're excited and there's all this new stuff and like feelings. It was just like a big new thing for me. And like with COVID, like I have dated a little bit, but not much. Like again, not the right time for me, I guess, and not really what my priorities were. I think I've wanted to be in a relationship for like a while now, but the pandemic made it really hard. It was just not the time. But now I found myself in the right place, and I guess so did he, and now we're like in this great place together, and I love it. If you guys do want a detailed video about, or like a story time about like how things happened for us and whatnot, I can do that. Just please comment that down below. So with all of that, be it like my two jobs and the new relationship, I also did have a couple of summer courses I was taking for different communication conditions, because as some of you may know, I am planning to go back and do my master's in science for speech language pathology, which is kind of like speech therapy. It's quite a spectrum. You guys want me to make a video on that too? Comment down below, and like my journey and like what's been going on and like how I kind of got interested in all that stuff, let me know. But yeah, basically like it was kind of within my plan that before I applied for my master's that I would get a little bit more acquainted with the field itself. Obviously working with individuals with certain communication conditions is a huge demographic in that field, so it was definitely something I wanted to like learn a little bit more about specifically after all the prerequisites that I got. And yeah, I really enjoyed the courses that I took. I am actually planning on doing one this coming month, which I'm very excited about as well. But this was kind of a whole other thing, because originally I had intended on applying for my master's this January, like 2022, but then given my two jobs and the new relationship, again, this was another thing that kind of just like fell short. Like it was just not the top priority in my life, and I don't, you know, I can't regret that. Like, you know, things happen the way they do, like it's just life. But I just definitely told myself that if I want to do it for this coming January, like now, like with 2023, to apply for my master's, I definitely have to get it together and prioritize it for sure, which is another reason why I feel like leaving one of the jobs was like very helpful for me. So with that, those are obviously all of the reasons why I felt like I wasn't very committed to YouTube and to my socials. And unfortunately, like I said before, it's kind of just the way my life was, and I feel I mostly just feel bad that I didn't give enough disclaimers, and like I should have been more transparent here. But every time I came back to YouTube in those 6 months, I kind of thought like, oh no, like this is the time I'll resume things. This is like, you know, this is it. Like it'll get better from here on out. And obviously it didn't. I definitely think though that leaving one of those jobs is going to help me tremendously. Like working 2 jobs is no joke. But this year with YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, I'm genuinely so excited. It's like this is what I really want to invest in right now. And you know, the whole reason I started this channel was because I felt like I was kind of in like a little creative rut, and what more, like how much can you do sitting at home and like feel like you're connecting to others. And I just felt like this whole idea of connecting to others on social media and like, you know, being yourself and doing what you want, it was just like something that really appealed to me. And I know that a lot of people in the past had told me like I should have done it, and I'm honestly so happy I started it. Like it's been so much fun. So this is definitely what I think I'm meant to be doing right now. And I think that, you know, in life we really live and learn from our mistakes. That's like the easiest way to retain a lesson. Obviously you can read every book, you can, you know, study every technique or theory on something, but until you physically feel what it is to make a certain mistake or to do something wrong, like if you don't fall, how are you going to learn to get up? Like you have to fall to know how to get up. And I think that this was me falling. I think this was my kind of like learning curve on how to manage my life and do this, because this is what I want to do right now. Now there is one more thing that kind of happened that I haven't really mentioned much about, because I am going to make a detailed video about it. Near the end of the holidays actually, I broke out with this very aggressive rash all over my face. Honestly, probably one of the worst I've ever felt about like my skin and how I look. Fortunately, it was like right after Christmas. Like I celebrate Christmas, unfortunately it was right after that. So like, you know, like seeing people and stuff, like it was less so. It's like always like the build up in the holidays that like you're seeing people and going out and doing things. And obviously during the holidays, especially after New Year's, everything is like closed. Like everything was closed for like 4 days. So by the time I actually wanted to see a doctor, I couldn't because everything was closed. So obviously the rash was like exacerbated, and it was just like growing without being like medicated or treated at all. Again, I will make a video about this, and it is coming very soon. Stay tuned for that video. Obviously, as you can tell, the rash is much more under control now, but you may have noticed at the beginning of the video like little red kind of like splotches and patches on my face. That is still some remnants of the rash, which again I will touch on more in the detailed video about the rash. But all to say that when the rash did come on, and I may have had a little bit more time to film during the holidays, I did not feel like I looked good enough. Even the past couple of weeks at the beginning of January, like, you know, when you're recovering from something like that, like it's not like it happens overnight. Like it, you know, gets a little bit worse before it gets better. So definitely not something that like I wanted to hide under all my makeup. I thought it was much better just to take the medication, do the treatments, and feel a little bit more confident, if you will. So yeah, that's basically what was keeping me from making videos. But as I have touched on very briefly here, I think that this is what I'm meant to be doing right now. I am so excited for what is to come here on my channel, especially this year. We are going to be celebrating my 1-year YouTube anniversary very soon, which is also super exciting. Yeah, this is the final look, and obviously we've touched on everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking with me. And again, I really can't emphasize enough how I appreciate you guys sticking with me and staying faithful and subscribing and wanting more content. It really warms my heart, and there's plenty more to come, so stay tuned. And yeah, just like that, I'm gonna wrap up this video for today, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below for future videos, and do not forget to follow me on all of my socials, as I said before. And yeah, otherwise I think that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye.